morning, friends. My name is Lisa Schmidt, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to Saturday in the Studio. We are in our home Minnetonka office, or Minnetonka studio, as you can usually tell by the banner here versus the background at Little Falls. But the weather, the temperature is dropping. Are you feeling it? In Minnesota, the temperature is dropping. So let us know where you're checking in from. Say good morning. Yeah, it's in the 40s today, right now. It's going to get up to the 50s, but we kind of got spoiled. And in Minnesota, we always say the temperature's going down, it feels very cold. But on the way up, after it's been super cold, 40s are like, ooh, we're outside with t-shirts. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, but I am going to make an autumn card this morning using Autumn Leaves, which is this beautiful, beautiful stamp set. It is just so fun to use and fun to play with. So we are going to use that and we'll get started. So the cardstock I'm going to use today is called Pecan Pie. Nope. Yes, Pecan Pie. Sorry, Pecan Pie. My mistake. Copper Clay. There we go. Final answer is Copper Clay. It's one of our new in colors for this year. And this is our standard half sheet. So it's 5.5 by 4.25. And because Dave was giving me grief about bone folders, I brought over a new, or not. I had a new bone folder. Somehow I thought I put it in my bin. I did, Dave. I dropped it right in the bin. But anyway, and as I always tell you, when I see that little crease right there or little edge sticking out, I just flip it over. And that's helpful. Okay, so I actually took the 3D embossing folder, Leaf Fall, and it is beautiful. And it is not in the catalog, but it is current, just so you know that is current. So it is so beautiful. So I embossed that on crumb cake, that's okay, on crumb cake, just to give a nice background. And you could use it this way, you could use it, the leaves can fall any which way. You could do it sideways, this way or this way. So that's really nice about that.
Can you hold that up close to the camera?
Sure.
Yeah. A little higher.
Yep.
We can't really see it.
Okay, so how about if I do...
Nope, just hold.
Okay.
Just
hold
wait.
it up.
There we go. A little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. On the angle, we can kind of see it.
Yeah, isn't that so pretty? I love this big maple leaf right there. And it's just very pretty. And it does look like leaves falling, which is wonderful. Yeah, definitely sweater weather, Mary. I agree. All right, so we'll go ahead.
All our friends checking in. Tina, Mary, Patty, Sandy, Tanya, everybody's here.
Hey, friends from Chile, Central Illinois. Yes. All right, so we'll go ahead and pop that on. Again, that's just cut 1/4 inch smaller. So this is a 4 by 5.25. And the great thing about Autumn Leaves, this particular stamp set, first off, let me show you this before I continue on my card. It has these dies if you get the bundle. So it has the dies where you can die cut the leaf and then the stems, or you could stamp and die cut the leaf. Of course, you could just stamp the leaves also like this. Any way you do it, it's so pretty. I do really like this right here. Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. I'm not a big one for change. Dave could. That's an understatement of the century, right, Dave?
Pretty much. Yep.
Come June, even though we're going into summer, come September, going into school, I kind of fall apart a little bit. And Dave reminds me, once we get to MEA, all is well in the world again. So in my teaching world. But I really I'm thankful for all you do. There's just a lot. I'm thankful to have you as a friend. And then with a grateful heart, there's just a lot of really pretty sayings here. I did give that to a friend this week who was just having a rough day. So, and then this is probably my favorite out of all of the dies, is this little maple leaf. You get 2 dies and 2 and 2, which is awesome because then you can cut more at a time. I just love this little maple leaf. I think it's super cute. And I really like this notch. I don't know why, but that just really, I think, is cute. So we've got 3 places, 3 dies that you can put words on. And then we just have these kind of cool textures that you can, there we go, that one or this one, that don't die cut anything out, but they give texture to your card. So super fun on those, but I just think it is a beautiful, beautiful stamp set. It is in our holiday mini catalog. So that's where the, boop, boop, right there, that's where it is, all about autumn. And so I'm going to use these today also. So we'll get going. We'll keep going. Okay. All right, so I've got that. And then I went ahead and die cut out some of those cute little maple leaves. Look how fun they are. Aren't they great? I just love them. I think they're so fun. So I'm probably not going to use that many, but I realized I left my little ribbon over there, Dave. You want to just bring me the whole bucket that's in? We're making this at Card Cafe this morning. So poor Dave. I got him working this morning. We'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment while we're waiting for my sweet hubby to take care of that for me. He's good to me, friends. Oh, the saying is over there. Just bring the whole bucket, please. All right. I'm like, the saying is over there too. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's in the other one, the one with the card that I'm making. This one right here. Poor baby. All right. How about I just stop for a minute and show you these cards while we're waiting? Since I clearly did not. I thought I had everything done early, ready to go. Anyway, this one is stamped, obviously. Cherry cobbler, and this one is pecan pie. The copper clay is a little bit lighter. You can see it's a little bit lighter. The pecan pie has a little bit more of that, thank you, dear, darker color in it. And this is the ribbon I was actually looking for, which he has just brought over to me. What a dear, sweet husband. So this one was, I did not make this one, but I do love the texture of these leaves. At first, when I saw this card, I thought, well, how do they do that? Like, how do they get the color? But thanks to Stampin' Up, it is all done for us. Okay, back on track. Thank you so much, my dear. We're going to use this copper ribbon. Look at that. It is shiny, shiny, shiny. And this ribbon comes with a thicker ribbon with it. It is this one right here, which we are
Copper and natural ribbon combo pack.
Yes. This natural ribbon is about probably about an inch wide. So it's it gives it's just.
It is 1 inch.
Yes, it is. You can just use it for a lot of different things because it is wider. So, all right, friends, here we go. So I'm going to take my copper, which I meant to tape on the back of this. I'm going to just do that right now because I don't really want to stick the whole thing on or wrap it around. I could, but I kind of like when I open the card, it's not going to be on the inside. So here's what we do when we do things ahead of time before we have everything. We just go like that and seal it back down. Now I've got my ribbon. Besides, it actually saves you some ribbon, which is kind of nice that you have more to use another time. So I'm going to do the same thing on my mat here. This mat, if you don't have a mat like this, it's wonderful. What is it called, Dave?
It's the silicone sheet.
Silicone sheet. And so you see I glued on it and there's no, the adhesive went over the edges, but there's no adhesive on here right now. So that is a pretty handy tool to use. All right, I'm going to flip that over and tuck this under like you never even knew that it was not the way it was supposed to be. Well, it is the way it's supposed to be. It's this way. There we go. Ta-da! Done. All right. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish the ribbon on this. And what I'm going to do is just cut a small piece of this ribbon like that. And I'm going to tie this around up here. But before I actually pull it all the way, I'm going to stick in another little ribbon. So this ribbon is our satin edged ribbon. It is so pretty. It has a little bit of gold in it, and it's vanilla with a little bit of gold. And I just love that because then it's easy to tie in the gold. It's just easy to tie that in. If you're using gold, you can just pop in this ribbon and it's going to look really pretty. So I'm going to stick that under there just to get a little bit more like color and just pull that tight. And I am done. I've got my fun little ribbons. And you can manipulate these a little bit if you like. Well, I kind of don't like it sticking that way. You can manipulate them. So let's go ahead and trim those and then we'll finish our, I'm going to use, I guess I'll use these. I'm just going to trim that one a little bit. And I guess I need to trim this one too. I don't want to because these scissors are not my ribbon scissors, but that's okay. So look at that. It just gives it a little extra color, especially with that right there. Let's just snip that off. It gives it a little extra texture, extra color, just layering, just like the fall in Minnesota. You got to layer your clothes. All right. So now I want to put some leaves on. I'm going to use these 3. So I did want to use the gold. And then I'm going to use this is going to be our little sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and here's my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and put I want one over here, kind of like that. I kind of want one falling, and I'm going to put one here. So I'm sort of placing them, thinking, okay, where do we want these? Sentiment's going to go there. So I'm going to pull this out to be a little bit more of a triangle, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these up on dimensionals. And because there's a ribbon there, I kind of want this one to be on either end of the leaf. I want it to be on the sides of the leaf rather than in the middle. So, oops, didn't mean to stick it down quite yet. I'm going to get that right in there and put this one on this side. What's your favorite fall activity, friends? What is your favorite fall activity? One of mine is apple picking, and we are doing that tomorrow for my mother-in-law's birthday. We go every year for her birthday. We go apple picking. So it's kind of fun to have traditions like that. I asked my students what was their favorite fall tradition, and after explaining traditions, pretty much everybody said Halloween, which is not really what I was going for, but it's all right. I said, well, I really like apple picking. And then they were like, oh, yeah, I like that too. So I'm going to stick this back down. That little corner is popping
Come on,
up.
if you're a kid, a holiday built around candy
I know.
and a little dress up thrown in besides,
I
of
suppose.
course it's going to be the favorite.
I suppose. I wasn't going for that, though. I was going for more of a pumpkin carving, or I don't know, just trying to see like something else that they did besides Halloween. But that's okay. I do understand that. So I'm placing this here just so I can see, oh, that's where that's going to go. So I can center the rest of my things. And the great thing about this, how I tied it on, is you can move it. So I just can move that up a little bit, and there it is. All right. I am going to use that phrase that I said I really like. The change can be good. It's a good reminder for me that change can be good.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Even beautiful. All right, so I am going to use that pecan pie because that's the base color. And I am going to use my mat because my mat, if it's a photopolymer stamp set, I want to use my mat. Now because
Photopolymer are those ones that look kind of clear.
Yeah, I like the photopolymer because I can actually see through them, and I can see that if they're straight and because I popped these up, I know I'm just going to stick this straight on because why not, right? All right, so there is that. Straight on was the key on that little comment. There we go. It's still crooked. Wow. There we go. I think that's straight. I'm going with it. So there's the outside. Isn't that pretty? We've got nice texture. The leaves here have beautiful, texture, I guess, or the way it's die cut out is so fun. There's just so much on this card, but no piece of it is difficult. So let's go ahead and stamp something though on the inside because we can. Oh, look at that. So I see a little mark here and I see a little mark here. So I'm going to stamp here and I'll stamp on top of.
Or put one of your other leaves.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or I could just pop my little leaf in. I think I'll do that.
Yep.
I like the cherry cobbler one. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. I like that idea, Dave. I was going to stamp, but wow, this card has very little stamping, but it has a lot of fun dies. There we go. You're right. That is beautiful. And we'll just pop that in rather. Such a pretty card. I really do love fall. I love that crisp air, and we'll just pop that in there. Isn't that pretty? All right. So what do you guys think? Love it. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, I just think it's really, really quite pretty. Okay. Do you have something for us?
Of course.
Of course.
So, a few things we have coming up. One is the Refuge Little Falls. Our next hosted retreat is happening next weekend. Still have a few spaces left if you want to join us. When you come to the Refuge Little Falls, you get your own personal private crafting space with a 5-foot table, cup holder, task lighting, trash can, all your space needed to create whatever you want. In addition, when we do our hosted weekends, we also offer a free make and take class as a part of it that we do Saturday afternoon. We provide all of your meals throughout the weekend. You're free to bring any special beverages or snacks you want.
But we also have beverages too.
We do.
Yeah.
We have lots of stuff. But sometimes if you have that one thing that you're like, this is my favorite, totally get that. Feel free to bring whatever that is. But we will be there next weekend, October 13th to the 15th. And go to thestamperstudio.com and you can register right there. Now, one button that we don't always talk about on on thestamperstudio.com is all the way down near the bottom. And that is the Join My Team button. Because you know what? Joining Stampin' Up! Is a great thing. And right now we have a special going on. So if you choose to join Stampin' Up! Right now, you get an option of you can either get 35% off your starter kit or you can get 35% additional product as a part of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, what does that mean, join Stampin' Up? Well, you know what? One of the best benefits is you get a discount on everything you buy. In addition to that, you get advanced access to many things. And some people are like, well, what's the commitment? What if I don't, I start and then I don't want to do it? You know what? There is no commitment. At any point, if you just say, you know what, I am done, you can just stop purchasing or not purchase the $300 per quarter. But I know some of you're purchasing $300 per quarter already. So I'm just saying that probably won't be the challenge. But if you ever did, if you're like, you know what, things are tight, I don't want to spend that much right now, then don't.
Yeah.
And no one comes knocking on your door. Nothing happens. You are totally free.
There's no Stampin' Up! Police.
No, definitely. So right now with that bonus 35%, it's a great time to do that. So something just to think about. And as I said, there is a button right on thestamperstudio.com. Just come to the bottom to join my team.
Can you go back to that for a second?
Yeah.
Easily. Okay, scroll up a little bit. Also, the other way. So also when you join, so I just want to point out that 35% brings that kit down to $64.35. You see that right there? I mean, wow. Or you can get, thank you, or the next one you spend $99 and you get $168. So anyway, that's a good deal. But go down to the very last one. When you sign up for two things. The second to the last, you get a free paper pumpkin kit. How fun is that? You get free shipping. And the next one down, there is an on stage at home event on November 11th. It's $77. I paid $77 to attend it, but you get to go for free. And I am hosting a little party, so we will watch together.
Or you can watch on your own if you can't.
Of course, you could watch on your own. Yes, but if you can come, you could come here and we can stamp together. So.
Yep. So really, that's like an extra $100 on top of everything else.
Right. It's pretty amazing, guys.
With the paper pumpkin and the free registration.
Yep. So there you have it. And I know you're going to come back to me or this or something.
We can see.
I know that some people are like when I think of other companies, I'm like, well, what's the catch? There's really no catch. There's really no catch. So it's a great deal. Obviously, I love it. So, all right. We finished that card. Oh, except for one thing I forgot to add. These are so fun. These are adhesive-backed speckle dots, and I'm going to hold it really close and really still. I think down here you can kind of see some of the speckles. So I'm going to throw one of these on because it's so cute. I just think they're fun. They just add a little boom. So there we go. All right. The other thing I was thinking about when I was looking at this stamp set is what could you use for Thanksgiving? Because sometimes it's fun to do a little placeholder or something like that. And so I don't know if you've heard of a 2, 4, 6, 8 box. Well, that's a big box. It's a 10 by 10 piece of cardstock. So I thought, well, how can I make a smaller one? So this one is 4.5 by 4.5. And the only thing you have to do is each segment has to be the same. So I'm going to score these. Let's make sure I have my scoring blade and not my cutting blade. I'm going to score these at 1.5. So I was at 4.5. So I'm going to go to 3. I'm going to score it at 3. And I'm going to flip it around and score. I think I Or 1.5. Oh yeah, that is 1.5. Oh, all of a sudden I'm forgetting. Okay, I think I'm right. I'm going to score it at 3, so that's 1.5, 1.5. That's right, 4.5. So you need 3 segments that are all the same size. It doesn't matter. You could go bigger. You just need to be able to get 3 segments that are all the same size. Now I'm going to turn it again, and I'm scoring at 3 because I was at 4.5. So that's a 1.5 score. And I'm going to turn it one more time and score it again at 3. So basically for this little box, so you can see I've made like a 9 square. So all of these, to easily make a box, these have to all be the same size, but they could be bigger, they could be smaller. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut here up to the score line and cut here up to the score line. Then I'm going to flip it over. So now I've got those cut, and I'm going to cut this side up to the score line and up to the score line. It's just a really fun little box, super simple. And now I'm going to fold on my score lines, the inside ones and the outside ones, fold all of them. So they're all a little bit bendy. Okay, so here is the easy part. This goes in, it's going to go up and attach here. You see that? Just like that. I haven't glued it yet. This is going to go in and scroll up. Woo, hold that still. And go up, and it's going to sit right here. Just like that. That is a 2, 4, 6, 8 little box. So let's go ahead. One thing I like to do on these, because that's going to be, sorry, I'm moving around too much. This is going to be the top. So I'm going to just trim this just a tiny bit so that that top doesn't show. You don't have to do that. I just feel like it gives me a little more leeway on both sides of the ones I'm folding in. Gives me a little bit more, so I'm not trying to squish the cardstock in there. So I'm just going to pull those out. That's that. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. And these are the ones I'm folding in. There we go. And here we go. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, what could you do with this stamp set for Thanksgiving? And I was like, oh, how fun if you had a little placeholder. You don't have to, you can put a name on it, or you could put just some candy corn or something inside of it. Would be really cute. All right. So I'm going to turn it over. On these 4 is where the adhesive is going. So I'm just going to use our regular adhesive because our adhesive is really strong. So I'm just going to use that. And I think I will do all of them at the same time, and you'll see why in a second. It's kind of hard once you have your box made to go back and
put adhesive on.
Well, because it's not flat. So
Yep.
it's easy. I think it's easier to do all of it at the same time. And I'm covering it. You could use tear and stick tape. So I've got adhesive. I want a little bit more right there on the 4 flaps. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it over, fold this flap up, these 2 flaps up, and I want to make sure the top of my box is flush with, I can see that one is not, that's okay, I'll just trim it. Flush with the edge is where you want it to be. So I'm going to make sure that this is flush. When I put that up, it should be flush. Now I see there's a little piece hanging over. No big deal. I'll just cut it. Maybe I didn't put it perfectly. It doesn't matter. I'll just trim that too. Doesn't matter. Sometimes they line up perfectly. And remember, this side still has adhesive, so I'm going to put this up. Oh, for some reason, those feel a little big. Not sure why. That's okay. Not a big deal. And line them up. I'm lining it up on this line right here because I want it to be a flat box. Okay? Cute. It's like, I think it's like the perfect size for just a little bit of something. Well, now we want to decorate the front, right? So we want to make the front look really cute.
Looks like the perfect size for a Linder truffle.
Ah, I love that. So I thought, how fun to put a gold leaf on it. So I'm going to die cut one of these little maple leaves because I think those would be so fun on there. They give it a little pop. And then we could stamp, or we could, I think it's kind of fun to stamp, but you could just die cut if you wanted to, or you can stamp and get some little leaves. But we're actually going to stamp some. All right, and these, I don't know if you know this, but these little holes right here, they are to either use a brush or you take your pick to pop those out. Sometimes they come out and sometimes they don't. So I think we need one big stamped leaf behind it. And I was thinking in cherry cobbler. So we're going to go ahead and stamp a leaf in cherry cobbler. Oh, hey, look at that. No, we're not going to use that one. I'm going to grab a fresh piece of vanilla and go ahead. Oh, I don't know where my leaves are. They're in another card. I'm sorry, Dave. How about if I just die cut one?
Sure.
We'll just die cut some. My stamps are in another card that we're making this morning. So, except then I don't have the paper.
I got it.
All right. I'll show you another card while he's getting that. Dear sweet hubby. All right, here's another card. This one was made by Kathleen Chapman. It's, sometimes there's just days like that, right, friends? You got to roll with it. This paper is back in stock. It is the, I can't think of it. This is back in stock, and oxidized paper.
Oxidized copper.
Yeah, oxidized copper paper is back in stock. It's very pretty. So, yep, thanks. You're the best. He's like holding them. Any of these? Please be one of these. So, isn't that so pretty though? I think that's really pretty with the designer series paper. And on this one, actually, she put the designer series paper on first and then embossed it. So that's kind of a fun little thing there. Okay, see, we just get to see the cards as we go. All right, so I think I'm going to use this leaf. I feel like the other one might be too big. So I'm going to use this leaf.
The oak.
Yes, the oak, the white oak. And I'm going to stamp that in. I think I'm going to stamp on and stamp off. I brought cherry cobbler over, and I brought pumpkin pie, not being sure which one I wanted. So I think this might be a little dark. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the dark one, actually. What do you think? And I'm going to stamp the this little stem in the copper clay, because the copper clay is my... Actually, once I die cut it out, it won't even show. So yes, it will. Brain is in like 100 different directions. So let's go ahead and stamp the stem. I'm going to stamp both of them, and then we'll decide. The dark one, maybe it's a little dark. What do you think? So we could use that.
If it's going behind, I think it's a little dark.
Yep. I also brought over, which we'll just go ahead and stamp one of those, pumpkin pie. So this was one that was kind of in my mind, as you can tell. And that's okay. I think that's okay, because I have a design in mind, and I'm like, let's try it out and see. And you just happen to be the one we're trying it out with. Oh, I kind of like that better. Mm-hmm. I think the pumpkin pie, well, that's kind of appropriate, is going to be a little bit better than the cherry cobbler. And let's go ahead and stamp that stem again in. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so nice, Tina. Ordered, can't wait to get it. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and die cut out this little leaf. There we go. And I'm going to grab this die to go with it. This one right here. And we'll go ahead and die cut that one out. Move that over. Here we are. So there we go. And I'm using the Stampin' Cut Mini Emboss. We call it the Mini Boss. Uh-oh. I'm moving. I might need to use a Post-it note. Because I don't want to redo. Not this morning. Usually I do my Squish the Bug, but this has kind of a lot of contours on it, so I'm actually going to use a Post-it note to hold that there. That's a good way to make sure you get it like exactly where you want it to be. All right, run that through there. And then we have a beautiful leaf. Voila, a leaf. There we are. Gotta love the dies. Just think they are so fun. All right, back to our box. Where'd my little cherry cobbler leaf go?
I thought you were going to put the gold one on.
Well, I'm going to put the gold, but I think we could have more than one leaf on there. So do we want it this way? No, this way. Okay. Yep. I think that looks really pretty.
Just like that.
Just like that. Just put a little. You could build more leaves, but you could just do, I don't know, just something like that with a little bit, and you could put their name on it. All right, let's stick them on because I'm undecided.
Overthinking.
Overthinking, shocker. So yesterday, Dave said, I was asking him about fixing something. He's like, "Oh my gosh, just throw it away. You've already spent, what'd you say? More
Already
energy
spent,
thinking about it
yeah,
than it's."
spend too much energy thinking on it than it's worth.
It was just like this little towel. I'm like, "Do we hem it? Do we?" He's like, "No, just get rid of it." All right, I'm going to add a few more, and then you'll be able to see my final one in the comments. So, did you have anything else to say? Because I have a
No.
couple more to show. All right. So some other cards I want to show you. Now, this is one where we use pure stamping. So I really stamped, but then I did go ahead and add some dies. But you can really see that texture. And then this came from a different stamp color and contour, I believe. This is a very fun one. Look at that. This one I made. This is by Carol Rosengren. And this morning I actually, we're making a card that looks similar to this, but not in these colors. And if you were at the Sweets in Season, this is a card we made there. Super fun fold. And then the last one I want to show you is this one. That little leaf there. So fun. Just a bundle of leaves. Oh, how fun inside when you open that. So that's what I have for you, friends. I hope that you enjoyed making our autumn leaves. I had to look at the name of it again one more time. Yep, autumn leaves. It is just beautiful, 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 beautiful. So hopefully you'll do something fun today. I said to Dave, I want to go out and go for a walk because it's crisp and just kind of gets everything moving, which is a good thing. All right, so that's what I have for you. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Remember, if you're free next weekend, please, please, please join us. We'd love to have you. We'd love to host you at the Refuge Little Falls. And as Dave said, go to thestamperstudio.com and it's right there. So that's what we have for you. All right, friends, happy stamping.